How much freedom do you have inside the system itself?
We have total freedom. So we exist. We've got a grant. We have an annual grant from the IAAF. Once they give it to us, it's ours to spend in the way that we feel is appropriate, and we have to report obviously on that spending. But in the interim, during the operations, we don't talk to the IAAF at all.
But some people here say that it's not possible to have this sort of total freedom or independence. What do you think about this claim?
Well, I guess at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. I have no connection with anybody in the athletic world. I have never been part of the athletic world. The members of my board are in a similar position. We have no link with athletics.
You said that other sports could maybe learn from you when it comes to this sort of independence. How do you think sports should handle sort of their work against, for example, criminals going into sport? What is the paveway, or what is the road to secure that is not happening?
Well, that's a big question. I mean, the first answer is other international federations could do well in modelling themselves on what we're doing, because none of them have the broad remit that we have in looking at all aspects of breach of behaviour or integrity. When it comes to can you do better in terms of the criminal engagement, you really do then have to have links with the police and the other enforcement agencies that have powers and authority. And the way that can be done is the establishment of a larger body, a bit like WADA, where you have sport, you have the betting organisers, you have law enforcement, you have a lot of people who are partners, if you like, in such an organisation, and they oversee these issues, and when it's an issue that relates to criminals, they engage the police.
This has been a long discussion in sport, the options or the possibilities of creating such an water which was working in a broader sense than just doping. How do you see the future when it comes to the practical possibilities of creating such an organisation?
Well, I think we are in a situation now where really it has to be seriously considered. It's a worse scenario than it was in 1998 when we had Festina and we had the Salt Lake City bribery thing. Now we've got Russia, which is far worse than Festina. You've got not only IOC members being under scrutiny for corruption and so forth, you've got the whole FIFA saga, and then if you really open your minds, you've got a lot of other international federations who are under that sort of scrutiny. Now, why don't we react the same way we reacted when we formed WADA? The real big issue is who will let go of control, who will allow somebody to monitor them, and that's the trick.
Who should take the lead for such an organisation? Who should sort of take the gauntlet and go for it?
Well, I think the sport movement probably should make the first step, because they should recognise they're in a position of real problems and say, here's a way in which we can get out of it. I don't think they're likely to do that, but I'm going to wait to see what happens over Russia.